Hello? Am I audible, guys? Can you hear me? अब आ रही है आवाज? Am I audible? Yes, yes. All right. Okay. Hmm. Okay, something went wrong, but now it looks okay. So, yes, I'm in the process of changing the timing because a lot of my other classes and your classes have to be rescheduled for changing the timing because this timing 10 a.m. has been going on for the last 6 months. So it's that is why it's taking time, but I'm going to change the timing, okay? And everyone else, just a minute. So here we go. Yeah. So what are we going to do today? Today is 6th of August. I'm going to take I'm going to take two articles from the 5th of August. Both the articles are from the Hindu. Both are really, really important, especially the second one. If you've read yesterday's newspaper, you would know an article on Tigray had come. So Ethiopia में जो crisis चल रहा है, जो Tigray में crisis चल रहा है, this article is about that. Make sure you understand the whole article, you understand the whole geography of Ethiopia, and then we'll see what is exactly the crisis that's going on. Okay, all right, now just a minute. What are we going to do in the class? We'll start off with a quote of the day that you're going to provide me with. We'll revise three words from yesterday's class through one word substitution questions. A lot of words weren't there in the yesterday's class. Some of them were repeated. Some of them were easy as well. So nonetheless, we're going to revise these three words from yesterday's class through one word substitution questions. We'll take two articles and discuss them in detail. We'll take out the vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and idioms from these articles if there are any, and then in the end you will tell me the tone of the author and write down the summary of each article in not more than one line under my video in the comment section. Remember, you have to write the summary in the comment section. Now, I had checked yesterday almost every summary. I think I've already checked. Yes, Tigre's woos, it's important. Yes. So I'm going to, yes, Nagadevi, I'm going to do that. Yes, Bache, I am working on it. I'm working on it. Hopefully from Monday the timing changes. Okay, so what was I discussing? So I had checked almost every summary under my yesterday's video. There were a couple of people that needed alteration in the summary. There was one person who did not understand the summary. For that person who did not understand the summary for the first article, please make sure that you read others' summary, the ones that I've liked and not corrected. Their summary looks perfect to me. But then there are a couple of people जिनका summary मैंने थोड़ा सा alter किया. Please check the comments after the class ends. Okay. Now, Jia Mehta has a quote for us. It says, uh, whatever you are, be a good one. Yes, actually, just make sure you don't harm people, you don't make people upset. But a good का definition बहुत vague होता है actually. So, gee, I will partially disagree with this, with my experience. Whatever you are, be a good one. Good, what does good mean? I actually do not know. So Devanshu has another thing to say. The capacity to learn is a gift, and the ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice. Exactly. It's your choice if you're willing to learn or not. You have to get up early in the morning. If I make the classes timing 7 a.m. in the morning, you have to be willing enough to get up in the morning and come to attend my classes. So that's a matter of choice. But then your ability to learn is your skill that you can absolutely develop with your willingness to learn. Very good quote, Devanshu. Very, very good quote. And then we are going to take one more quote by Lauren, who says, you just have to start because just remember that nobody, not even a single person, starts at the top. Exactly. बहुत बढ़िया quote, Lauren. I love this. So, because there is nobody who ever started and immediately reached the top, or nobody who ever started from the top. You have to start from the bottom. But once you start, the journey may be difficult, but with baby steps, you can certainly reach that journey. We still have time for 22, CLAT 22. We can make this happen together, right? Okay, so here is our quote of the day. Now we're going to, but before I move ahead, We have a flat 50% off sale going on our Gradeup Super programs. The sale is called the Medal of Success. So use this Medal 50 code and try to avail 50% off on every Gradeup Super program that you wish to enroll for. This sale wouldn't last forever. So today is the first day of the sale. Make sure you speak to our counselors and know more about the programs. What are our programs? The first program that we have is for people who are repeaters, who have done their 12th and are either taking a drop or are enrolled in a college and they want to sit for CLAT again because they had sat for CLAT previous year as well. So for these people, we have a repeaters batch going on. We have started this batch recently on 4th of August. This batch is going to be a little different from the normal 22 batches because you have more time than 22 target people who are in 12th. So our methodology of dealing with you will be different. This is the number of our counselors. If you want to know anything more about the repeaters batch, you could speak to them. And for all those people who are targeting CLAT 2022 who are in their 12th, or who have examinations along with it. We have two more batches for you. One is going to be in English, the other is going to be a bilingual batch. Bilingual, partially English, partially Hindi. So, whatever batch you are the most comfortable with, you could choose either of the batches. I'm going to be a part of these batches. You could choose them and enroll yourself because the classes have already begun. The course has been already launched. This is the number of our counselors. I'm going to share, the same number. So you could speak to our counselors if you want to know anything else about this batch. Yes. Okay. Let's revise this from yesterday's class. Tell me one word that's suitable for this definition. Restriction of something within limits. Aloof, retractable, median, and circumscription. What is the answer? Who's going to tell me? I did not understand first article that was yes, Nitya. I had commented under your comment as well because there are multiple people who have written the summary. Could you please check the summary again? All the people whose summary I've liked and I haven't commented that there's a need to be altering the summary. You could check their summary. Okay. If you're referring to the inoculating article, the one that refers to inoculating everybody and the third wave, you could read that. B, D, minion? No. The answer is D. The answer is D. Circumscription. Nitya, I've answered your question, beta. The answer is circumscription. It is circumscription, okay? Aloof is somebody who stays apart, doesn't mix, doesn't mingle a lot. Retractable, something that can be pulled back. Minion is like a chamcha. I've done this word, okay? It's like a subordinate who tries to please a senior where the subordinate is actually very, very irrelevant. That kind of a subordinate is a minion. Okay, yes, they have different. If you're Hemant, if you're referring to the both the bilingual and English 22 plans, they have similar syllabus. But if you're referring to the repeaters batch, it is different. Yes, exactly, Chamcha. All right, yes. All right, now let's move on to the next question. Hold a conference, easy. Hold a conference with the opposing side to discuss terms. Is it salvation, sinister, parley, detrimental? What is it? Hmm? Sidekick बोल सकते हो आप अंजलि? Yes. What is the answer with the next one? It is a circumscription, absolutely, undoubtedly. Yes. It is Parle. Exactly. We did it with Parle biscuit, right? The answer is Parle. Okay, it's like a meeting that is held to bring two parties in a common consensus, in an agreement. That is a Parle. Salvation, we did this in Hindi as well. Moksh, when your uh, soul leaves the body and you're beyond every earthly tie, that's salvation. Sinister, the root word was sin, which meant bad. But then I taught you two meanings of the word sinister, one who writes with the left hand and one that is evil. So both the meanings are true for sinister. Detrimental is something that's harmful, that stops the growth, that curbs the growth is detrimental. So something that's harmful, obviously I give you an example, smoking is detrimental for your health. It's harmful for you. All right. Evil, wicked, yes, Shrishti. Salvation, redemption आप बोल सकते हो अभिरल, absolutely. Sinister, something bad or evil, correct? Okay. Aloof kaun batayega? Who will tell me what is aloof? Adroit, very good word, Vishal. I like this word. Yes. आप इसको बोल सकते हो as a antonym to sinister. Okay? Exactly, very good sentence. Who will tell me what is aloof? Can we help Ananya? What are today's editorials? The one on Tigray, the Ethiopian crisis, and the next one I forgot. I'll have to see. I forgot. Okay. What is aloof? Alone. Yes. Somebody who doesn't mix a lot. Who doesn't, who is reserved, maybe, is aloof. Uninvolved. Yes. Distant. Yes. Very good, Gia. Very good. Absolutely correct. Unresponsive is also aloof. Correct. The source of help in a difficult situation. Is it nondescript, recourse, prejudice, alienation? What is it? What is the answer? Introvert is a related word, not an exact synonym. It's a related word. Distant, secluded, yes. ये आप बोल सकते हो. Recourse. Yes. The answer is recourse. Okay. So recourse is a help that you find, something that promotes you. Nondescript, something that is not that doesn't have a clear description, definition, which is not clearly defined, is nondescript. Prejudice, when you are opinionated against something, you have your own prejudice without even knowing the fact, that is prejudice. Alienation, to keep something separate, alone, and not being able to mix, that is alienation. I hope you get all the words. Nondescript, lacking interesting features. Yes, correct, Lauren, correct. Something which doesn't have prominent features. Yes, Tracy, correct. All right. Now we've done the revision from yesterday's class. Now let's look at today's vocabulary. We have a lot of it, so let's try to memorize these. The first one, exacerbate. We've already done this word in our previous week's classes. I think 2 weeks back we did this word. If you make anything more severe, more worse, you are exacerbating it. The exorbitant cost of land in urban areas only exacerbated the problem. It increased, it made the problem even worse. To make it worse or make it severe is exacerbate. So next word here is correct, Akansha. That is the sentence we did. Surgery is the only recourse she had. Correct. Okay. Next word is fraught. Fraught is you are disturbed with something. So you are either anxious, or maybe you're stressed, or you are uneasy. You're affected badly with something. You are fraught condition. There was a fraught silence, a silence that created anxiety and stress in people. That was fraught. Retaliatory, easy. Retaliation, when you are attacking again for revenge. That is retaliation. In a kind of a response that you give, that is usually characterized by taking revenge. That response is retaliation. Fears of a retaliatory attack by the victim's friend. Victim's friend wanted to retaliate, and that's why people were scared. He might have attacked again. That is retaliation. Next word is scabbard. Scabbard is आपने जो you've seen a sword. Sword का जो cover होता है, कभी कभी लेदर का होता है, क्लोथ का बना होता है. दैट कवर ऑफ द स्वॉर्ड और तलवार का जो कवर होता है, दैट इज अ स्कैबर्ड. अ सेरेमोनियल स्वॉर्ड हंग एट इट्स साइड इन अ गिल्डेड स्कैबर्ड. तो वो गिल्डेड स्कैबर्ड था, उसका कवर था गिल्डेड था वो. आई होप यू गेट स्कैबर्ड एज वेल. Exit of US from Afghanistan exacerbated the situation. Yes, sadly true of Abhinav. Sadly true. Correct. Okay. Next word. Mayan. Oh, yes, that is the Hindi word for it, Tanya. Thank you for reminding me. I just forgot the word. Correct. Then we have manned. So, manned comes from the word man. Okay. So, when there is manpower, when there is there are humans involved, that is manned. A manned mission to Mars, that means a mission that involved humans. Humans went to Mars. So man se yaad karna, manned. Next word is statesman. A statesman is a politician who acts very wisely, judiciously, carefully, and he is experienced. So I'll say APJ Abdul Kalam was a statesman, or maybe Atal Bihari Vajpayee was a statesman. ये एक skilled politician के लिए use होता है statesman. Okay, I hope you get all these words. Taliban has retaliated in many regions. Yes, they have. They were just waiting for USA to go out. Okay, next word. I hope you've taken a screenshot of this, everyone. Then I'm going to move on to the next slide. Take a screenshot so that you can revise it later on. All right. Culminate is reach the end of it, the climax of it. The highest point of development is culmination. Weeks of violence culminated in the brutal murder of a magistrate. So culminated is it reached the highest point, it reached the climax. That is culminate. I hope you get these words, everyone. Do not change the timing. I am going to kill myself. Yes, PV Narasimha Rao, good example as well. Okay. Fraught is similar to fright. It is similar. They are related. They are not synonyms. Okay. Okay. Next word is amicable. We've done this word before. Amicable is friendly. We also discussed the difference between amicable and amiable. So amicable is friendly, and there is no disagreement. An amicable settlement to the dispute, that means they were okay, happily settling down on something. Okay, recrimination. Recrimination is when you accuse somebody, when you give a response by accusing somebody. That accusing is recrimination. There are no tears and no recriminations. So no accusing of anyone. I'm not feeling sad. I'm not going to accuse anyone for doing this to me. So that is recrimination. When you are giving a response in the terms of accusing somebody. Next word is paramount, supreme. सबसे बड़ा, सबसे big, huge, सबसे ऊंचा, that is paramount. The interest of the child are of paramount importance. What does the child want to do? If he wants to do law, that is paramount. If he does not want to do law, that is paramount. So what is supreme? What comes before anything else is what is paramount. Yes, culminate का synonym होगा Zenith. Yes, Lauren, correct. Krishan, yes, I am working on that. डिस्कॉर्ड का मतलब नित्या डिसएग्रीमेंट या disorder is discord. Okay. Yes, Tanya, correct. Next one is concerted. We've done this word also before. Concerted means when you agree to carry a task, to complete a task together. That is concerted, in a coordination. A concerted attempt to preserve religious unity. So everybody comes together and in a coordinated way, they try to do something. That is concerted. Okay. Cessation. Cessation is when you put an end to something, is cessation. So the cessation of hostilities were put to an end. The fact or process of ending or being brought to an end is cessation. Take a screenshot quickly, everyone. So, Khushi, that's a homework. We've discussed this. That's your homework. Everyone else did it on homework. You should also do it in your homework. Okay. Amiable, amicable difference. Yes, Yashashvi. Manned is involvement of humans. National security is of paramount responsibility of the nation. Correct. चीज बोल सकते हो तान्या? Yes, आप उसे याद कर सकते हो. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल absolutely. All right. Next one. Cohesion is an act of forming one united whole. So there is no disturbance, no discontentment, no disorder. Everything works in unity. The work at present lacks cohesion. There is no unity. Lacking unity is lacking cohesion. So cohesion is working in unity with everyone, in coordination with everyone. That is cohesion. Next word is woos. We've done this word also before. So woes are anything that causes problems or distress or sorrow to someone. These are woes. The Everton tale of Woo continued. मतलब वो problems create कर रहा था. All right. Okay. Then we have unilateral. Easy word. Uni means one. Okay. So unilateral is one person, one group जो task करता है. It is unilaterally done. यूनिलैटरल न्यूक्लियर डिसआर्मामेंट मतलब एक ही पर्सन कर रहे हैं या फिर एक ग्रुप कर रहा है या फिर एक ही कंट्री है बट वन नंबर में वन आएगा दैट इज इन्वॉल्व्ड दैट इज यूनिलैटरली नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज आउस्ट आउस्ट इज थ्रो थ्रो अवे हटा देना बाहर कर देना is to oust you will be ousted from the class if you misbehave that is oust okay then we have influx influx is the opposite of exodus exodus is when a large number of people leave an area. Influx is when a large number of people arrive in an area, in a land, in a place. That's exodus and influx. Exodus leaving, influx arriving in or ex se yaad karna. In means coming inside, exodus means leaving. Next is clout. Clout is the influence a person has. So I'll say Ambani's clout. That means the influence he has. He can influence the government too. That is the clout. Okay. Oust, deport बोल सकते हो वैदिक? Yes. All right. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana should resolve their battle with cohesion. Yes, correct. I can also say mathematics solution. I can also say Mizoram and Assam should be doing it. Refugees का influx होता है किसी जैसे Rohingyas का influx हुआ था. That is one example that you can use. Correct, Tanya? Exactly, Sakshi. Good example. Okay. I hope you've taken a screenshot of this slide as well. Let me move on to the next one. Oh, that is all. So we have done the words. Now I'm going to start discussing the editorial article where of course I'll not be able to read your comments. No, Christian, it's not buffering beta. Your internet seems to be weak. So make sure that you don't target any message to me. I'll not be able to read any one of it. Understand the article and then we'll discuss the tone of it. So the first article is about, so the internal issue. We have read an article about the issue between Assam and Mizoram and how things got severe. If you haven't watched that video, you have to do that because मैंने आपको पूरा map दिखा के बताया था कि कौन सा area disturbed है and why is the dispute happening. So I'll not discuss about that right now because I've already discussed that. This dispute, though now it seems to be getting better. So this article is about that things are getting better after taking a peak. They got really bad. Army personnel died, policemen died, one civilian also died in the rift between Assam and Mizoram. But now things, and then the things took a political agenda. But now they think this thing seems to be getting better. So this article talks about that. Let's see what it says. The drawing down of tensions between drawing down is lessening. So the drawing down of tensions between Assam and Mizoram, at least at the leadership level. देखो ये जो पूरा rift था, ये start कहाँ से हुआ? It started when the normal citizens of both the states started fighting. But it took a complete political agenda and people started accusing the political parties. एक political party दूसरे को accuse कर रही थी. हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा, which is the chief minister of Assam, उनके against FIRs भी हो गई और multiple FIRs हो गई. So it took a very big political agenda. But now, at least उस political leadership level पे things are sorting out with the respective governments announcing the withdrawal of the FIRs. So दोनों states की governments ने अपनी अपनी FIR कर दी थी. अब वो FIRs withdraw कर रहे हैं against the chief minister of Assam and a Rajya Sabha MP. So मिजोरम में एक राज्यसभा एमपी पे एफआईआर हो गई. चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ असम हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा के ऊपर में भी एफआईआर हो गई. बट नाउ दे आर withdrawing the FIR. So things seem to be getting better. Among other steps comes as a great relief. These actions followed by the death of 6 policemen and a civilian. There was an attack, not an attack, there was a fight. And the result of the fight was 6 policemen and 1 civilian died from Assam in a violent gunfight in the border town of Vairangte in Mizoram in 26 July. So that was the first thing that had happened. But ये first नहीं हुआ. इसमें रिफ्ट पहले से चल रहा था. ये लैंड का रिफ्ट मैंने आपको बताया था जब डिवीजन होता है लैंड का, some people get some part, some people lose some part, and that's when the rift arises if they're not happy with it. So the rift is a long one. But 26 July it took a bad state when there was a a ceasefire and a gunfire. In fact, gunfight में 6 policemen and 1 civilian died, which exacerbated an already fraught situation. Already fraught था क्योंकि लड़ाई उनकी पहले से चल रही थी. इस गन फाइट ने और सीवियर कर दिया सिचुएशन को बिटवीन द स्टेट्स. द रिटेलिएटरी एक्शन सच एज द फाइट. अब देखो, अगर लड़ाई हुई है, 6 civilian असम के they've died, not 6 civilians, 6 policemen, they've died, 1 civilian has died. उन्होंने रिटेलिएशन किया. The retaliatory actions such as the filing FIRs against prominent representatives at a time when locals in the Barak Valley in Assam had already imposed a blockade. देखो, locals ने क्या किया कि हमने blockade कर दिया, मिजोरम हमारे यहाँ से कोई सामान नहीं जाएगा. Both the articles we're going to discuss are talking about blockade. Blockade here in this article means no, so you'll be alienated. No goods and products and services will be reaching you from this border. So the locals had alienated them. They had put a blockade, disallowing trucks with essential goods from entering Mizoram. They said, we are not going to allow these trucks to go into Mizoram. Seemed to indicate that the state's leadership were throwing away their scabbards, militating against their own moves to restore calm. So both of them were really aggravated. Both the states were aggravated. Assam civilians and policemen were killed. So they said, I'm going to put a blockade. We're not going to allow the trucks with essential services also to go there. After all, the governments had taken the right decision to withdraw their police forces from the 4 kilometer disputed stretch. ये disputed stretch वही stretch है जिस stretch के demand मिजोरम भी कर रहा है, आसाम भी कर रहा है. आता आसाम में है, but Mizoram says this should be ours, Assam says this should be ours. This is the stretch. Now, this is the disputed stretch of 4 kilometer. And finally, जब हमने ये आर्टिकल पढ़ा था last time, it was said that जब paramilitary forces है वहां पे, why are civilians fighting? Why are police personnel there? The paramilitary forces should have taken the charge of the situation. So finally it has happened. पुलिस को वापस बुला लिया है और सेंट्रल पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस को वहां खड़ा कर दिया कि ओके नाउ ओनली एंड ओनली यू कैन हैंडल द सिचुएशन बिकॉज दे विल बी fair to both the parties, right? But the blockade and the damage caused, the only rail line connected in Mizoram, made matters tough. एक ही रेल लाइन है जो मिजोरम को कनेक्ट करती है आसाम से, वो रेल लाइन को डैमेज कर दिया, blockade create kar diya that trucks cannot go. It made the situations worse, culminating in the Mizo Bar Association filing a PIL before the Aizawl bench of the Guwahati High Court against the economic blockade. So obviously Mizoram retaliate करेगा क्योंकि उनके essential services रुक गई हैं. मिजोरम ने भी एक PIL फाइल कर दी कि हमारी economic blockade क्यों हुआ है. ये national level issue बन गया. The chief ministers now seem committed to talks. Now it looks like they want to talk, sort things out, which is a good hint. With Assam's Hemant Biswa Sharma even suggesting that his government will approach the Supreme Court to find an amicable solution. तो दोनों पार्टीज बोल रहे हैं कि हम बात करेंगे. हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा और चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ असम इज आल्सो सेइंग आई एम गोइंग टू गो टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट टू फाइंड अ सॉल्यूशन दैट इज गोइंग टू बेनिफिट both of us, that is a friendly solution. Continuing talks without recriminations is the only way out to tamp down tension between the two states. And the author is suggestive here, is saying the only way to deal with the situation is when you talk and find out, and then there's a parlay, and you find out a situation that's amicable for both of them. The situation should never have come to this. Absolutely. हम जहां चाइना से फाइट करने में बॉर्डर में लगे हुए, डू यू रिमेंबर दैट कैरिकेचर, वहां हमारे घर में ही आग लग गई है. दिस शुड नॉट हैव बीन दैट सीवियर. ये सिचुएशन पहले भी अवॉइड करी जा सकती थी. लास्ट आर्टिकल में भी ऑथर ने सजेस्ट किया था दैट द सेंटर शुड हैव बीन इन्वॉल्व्ड हियर. घर में जब बच्चों की लड़ाई होती है तो पेरेंट्स इन्वॉल्व होकर सुलह कराते हैं ना. ऐसा तो नहीं होता कि एक बच्चा दूसरे का मर्डर कर देगा. सो यहाँ पेरेंट कौन है? द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. एंड द बच्चे आर Mizoram and Assam. They are fighting. The central should have been involved to sort it out. What began as a conflict between residents of the state in the border area morphed into a violent battle between the police, paramilitary forces, doing little to control or halt this. सिर्फ सिविलियंस में लड़ाई थी, वो लड़ाई इतनी बड़ी बन गई, उसने पॉलिटिकल फेस ले लिया, पुलिस इन्वॉल्व हो गई, पुलिस लड़ रही, पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स है बट कुछ नहीं कर रही है. It took a really bad shape. It should not have happened this way. Their role in stopping the violence and securing the peace in the border areas between states will now be paramount. Whose role? The paramilitary forces. Their role will be paramount. It will be supreme, that they will be the only one who will be able to control violence in the localites there. Even as the Assam government must compel residents to avoid continuing the blockade. Yes, so Assam government को भी ये blockade अब खोलने के लिए बोलना पड़ेगा अपने residents को. An impartial inquiry is also needed. Who started the fight? Who started the gunfire? Who killed who? An impartial inquiry should also be done, because otherwise this issue will come up again. So an inquiry needs to be set up into the sequence of events that led to the firing incident, and the death must also be held so that such a situation does not recur. अगर आप इंक्वायरी नहीं करोगे ये वापस बढ़ के आएगी सिचुएशन. On the question of settling the borders to the satisfaction of both states, a concerted people oriented approach by the respective authorities with the facilitation of the center. So author says center agar involve hoga, both the parties, both the states and the governments, they sit together, they find an amicable solution is what is needed here, instead of a purely judicial approach that seeks to address via the state's respective historical claims. सब हिस्टोरिकली क्लेम करते हैं कि वो लैंड, वो जो 4 किलोमीटर का स्ट्रेच है, मिजोरम के पास आना चाहिए, आसाम के पास आना चाहिए. सेंटर बैठ के उसको सॉल्व करवा सकता है. A method that is used to settle sovereign claims. After all, both Assam and Mizoram are a part of the Indian Union. Of course, they're Indian states, and interstate cooperation and cohesion are central to the sanctity of the federal system. हमारा federal system बना रहे उसके लिए there has to be a cooperation and cohesion between all the states. So if there's a disturbance, it needs to be sorted at the earliest. Okay. So what is the tone? I hope you get this. Suggestive, absolutely suggestive, completely suggestive. Anything else? It is mostly suggestive. Little critical, mostly suggestive. Concerning and suggestive. देखो suggestive है इसीलिए because the author is concerning, so it is concerning and then it is suggestive as well. खुशी हो सकता है ऐसा, but it is not that simple. Okay. Yes, fully suggestive, 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 without any doubt. Okay. Now concerning होगा. Yes. Okay. All right. Chalo, let's move on to the next article now. Now, guys, I will not be able to look into your chats, of course, but ये article बहुत important है. ध्यान से geography समझो and ध्यान से उसका implication समझो. It's a very important article, all right? Because ये अभी solve होता नहीं दिख रहा है. ये multiple days तक आगे आता रहेगा. But before that, if you're targeting CLAT 23, we have another batch for you. This is the number of our counselors. Please speak to them to know more about the courses. कि हम how is it different from the 22 batches? Extra क्या होगा? कितने mock test होंगे? कितनी classes होंगी? Please speak to our counselors on this number before you run out of time, because already half a year is gone. So ये है Ethiopia. Okay. Now Ethiopia के आसपास है सूडान, सोमालिया, और इथियोपिया का एक छोटा सा एरिया है टीग्रे. अब इथियोपिया अभी रिसेंटली ही एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री बना था 1995 में. एंड इथियोपिया में जो लीडर हैं एबी अहमद. सो ही इज अ नोबेल प्राइज विनर फॉर पीस. इथियोपिया में जो टीग्रे एरिया है, टीग्रे में एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है. ऑलराइट, यू कैन सी दिस होल मैप. ठीक है, इस कॉन्टिनेंट में इथियोपिया ये कंट्री आ जाता है. सोमालिया इसका सराउंडिंग है, तो सोमालिया के भी कुछ इन्फ्लुएंसेस आते हैं, सूडान के भी कुछ इन्फ्लुएंसेस आते हैं कल्चर में. बट इट इज अ कल्चरली एथनिकली रिच कंट्री. बहुत ही डाइवर्स है और बहुत ही रिच कंट्री है. ओके. नाउ इथियोपिया में जो टीग्रे एरिया है, देयर इज अ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी दैट इज द टीग्रे पीपल्स लिबरेशन फ्रंट. जो इथियोपिया में जो टीग्रे एरिया है वहां वो रूल करते हैं. But the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, he wanted the whole country to be one single democratically elected government. So उन्होंने क्या किया? They attacked this person's troop, the president's troop attacked on Tigray. अब ये अटैक कैसे हुआ, क्या हुआ और इसका क्या implication हुआ? This article talks about that. So in detail, I'm going to talk about each and every line slowly. Try to interpret what happened and how things got bad. यहाँ भी एक blockade लग गया, ठीक है? यहाँ blockade लग गया टीग्रे में, कोई essential service नहीं जा सकती है. क्यों लगा blockade? Let's understand that. All right. Okay. So when Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sent troops to Tigray, द कंट्रीज नदर्न मोस्ट रीजन, मैंने आपको मैप दिखाया, ठीक है? नदर्न मोस्ट रीजन में टीग्रे है, वहां उन्होंने अपनी ट्रूप्स भेजे इन नवंबर 2020. ही एंड सी इमेजिन, ही इज अ नोबेल पीस प्राइज विनर. ही इज सेंडिंग अ ट्रूप. Why is he sending a troop? There's a reason, a very valid reason. In November 2020, he said, I'm sending a troop, but my promise is that it's going to be a short campaign. And I'm just going to send the TPLF, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, out and make a democratically elected government there. ठीक है, शॉर्ट बोला उन्होंने कि हम सिर्फ उनके अगेंस्ट फाइट करेंगे, बट ये शॉर्ट था नहीं. दिस वेंट ऑन फॉर 7 months. 2020 नवंबर में स्टार्ट हुआ था. 7 months later, when Ethiopia declared a unilateral ceasefire and withdrew. तो इथियोपियन ट्रूप ने क्या किया? एक यूनिलैटरल सीजफायर किया और फिर वापस आ गए. वापस आने का मतलब क्या हुआ? It looks like they are accepting defeat in Tigray. The government troops are now facing serious allegation of war crimes. War crimes from a prime minister who is awarded with Nobel Peace Prize. So it looks like they are withdrawing, they are accepting defeat, and क्योंकि उन्होंने एक यूनिलैटरल सीज फायर किया, अकेले किसी और को ध्यान में नहीं रखते हुए सीज फायर किया उन्होंने, they are being accused of war crimes. वो चाहते हैं वॉर हो as bodies. अब देखो, और ये और सीवियर क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि सुडान में जो बॉर्डर ऑफ इथियोपिया है, वहां एक रिवर है. उस रिवर में मोर देन अ डजन डेड बॉडीज फ्लोट करती हुई आई हैं. So it looks like the troop that was sent by Ethiopia to fight in Tigray has killed multiple people. So it looks like you are starting a war. The federal troops had initially ousted the TPLF from Mekele. So जो Mekele is an area in Tigray, और ऐसा लग रहा था कि initially जो ट्रूप भेजा था इथियोपिया ने, उन्होंने TPLF के ट्रूप को बाहर कर दिया. लेकिन टीग्रे की जो हिस्ट्री रही है वो रही है गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर की. व्हाट इज गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर? डू यू नो दिस? बताएगा कौन मुझे इन द चैट बॉक्स? कंट्री है बेटा. ओके, अफ्रीका. यस, करेक्ट. इट्स इन अफ्रीका. हु विल टेल मी व्हाट इज गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर? व्हाट इज गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर? आपको वो समझ में आएगा तो आपको ये पूरा स्टोरी भी समझ में आ जाएगा. हु विल टेल मी व्हाट इज गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर? हिडन फाइट. ओके, हम इंडिया में माओइस्ट की जो फाइट देखते हैं, दैट्स गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर. सीज फ्रॉम ऑल द साइड्स. यस, आप ये भी बोल सकते हो. गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर में क्या होता है? जो लोकल लोग जो वहां रहते हैं, दे नो द होल एरिया, दे नो द होल टोपोग्राफी, एंड दे नो हाउ टू हाइड फ्रॉम मल्टीपल एरियाज एंड देन अटैक. कभी कभी वो आपको शो करते हैं कि ओके, हम पीछे जा रहे हैं, हम डर रहे हैं, और आपको लगेगा, बाहर की आर्मी को लगेगा कि ओके, नाउ वी आर विनिंग, एंड देन सडनली दे वुड अटैक यू फ्रॉम मल्टीपल साइड्स. दैट इज द गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर. सो टीग्रे में गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर बहुत सालों से वो प्रैक्टिस करते आ रहे थे. मोर देन 3 decades वो गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर प्रैक्टिस करते आ रहे थे. तो जब लगा इथियोपिया के ट्रूप को कि टीपीएलएफ को हमने हटा दिया, बट टीपीएलएफ retreated to the mountains and then they struck back. In June, it recaptured Mekelle. The TPLF वो वापस मेकेले में आ गया, जहां पे उन्होंने अपनी खुद की गवर्नमेंट बना दी थी इथियोपिया के ट्रूप ने, forcing the federal troops to pull back. So they had attacked, और इथियोपिया के ट्रूप को वापस बुला लिया गया. At least in defeat, Mr. Abiy could have accepted his mistake and sought a settlement. लेकिन ऐसा हुआ नहीं. He did not accept his defeat. He announced a blockade on Tigray. बोला अब ब्लॉकेड हो जाएगा, कोई सामान आपके पास नहीं जाएगा. Look at the map again. इस टीग्रे का जितना भी सामान आएगा वो इथियोपिया में इसी एरिया से आएगा. अब अगर इथियोपिया यहाँ ब्लॉकेड क्रिएट कर देता है, what can you do? You can't do anything. So that's what Mr. Abiy did. So Mr. Abiy, he created a blockade on Tigray with even international aid delivery stopped. And UN का जो estimate है that 350,000 people are facing severe food crisis in Tigray right now because of the blockade that is created by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Mr. Abiy Ahmed. The TPLF says it will not stop fighting unless the government lifts the blockade and pull back all the opposing troops. देखो उस एरिया में टिग्रे में TPLF is the sole winner right now क्योंकि वहां से ट्रूप्स को वापस फेडरल ट्रूप को वापस भगा दिया उन लोगों ने. But they say will not stop fighting till you remove the blockade because removing the blockade is necessary. और Ethiopian Prime Minister कह रहे हैं हम blockade हटाएंगे नहीं. The conflict has already spilled over into the Amara and Afar region, threatening the very regional makeup of the ethnicity divided in Ethiopia. So इथियोपिया और तो पूरा इथियोपिया बहुत ही कल्चरली एथनिकली रिच एरिया है और वहां जब एथनिसिटी में डिवीजन होने लग गया है थिंग्स आर बिकमिंग बैड एंड इन्फ्लक्स ऑफ रिफ्यूजीज हैड रेज्ड टेंशन इन द नेबरिंग सूडान आल्सो. तो सूडान नेबरिंग कंट्री मैंने आपको दिखाया था. यहाँ से रेफ्यूजीज अब जैसे रोहिंग्या में क्या हुआ था, रोहिंग्या रेफ्यूजीज हमारे कंट्री में बाकी कंट्रीज में जा रहे थे, बांग्लादेश में जो हुआ था उसी तरीके से इथियोपिया से भी अब लोग दे आर ट्राइंग टू मूव इनटू सूडान बिकॉज दे वांट टू एस्केप द वॉर because there is a blockade. Mr. Abiy, a Nobel Prize winner, yes, went to a war in Tigray. अब Nobel Prize क्यों win किया उन्होंने, ये देखो बहुत interesting part है. He went to a war in Tigray as a part of an ambitious plan to rewrite the country's power balance. तब तक democratically elected नहीं थी वहां government. Since Ethiopia embraced democracy in 1995, the TPLF, which led the resistance against the military dictatorship, the DERG had played a key role in ruling coalition. तो उन्होंने country के डेमोक्रेटिकली इलेक्ट होने में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया एंड देन एक कोलिशन बनाया. कोलिशन किसमें बनाया? द इथियोपियन पीपल्स रिपब्लिक रेवोल्यूशनरी डेमोक्रेटिक फ्रंट के साथ में एक कोलिशन बनाया. मिस्टर एबी एंड अमोरो, अमोरो एक वहां की एथनिसिटी होती है, सो ही बिलोंग्स टू दैट एथनिसिटी. एंड अमोरो रोज टू पावर इन 2018 अमिड द ग्रोइंग एथनिक टेंशन एंड प्रोटेस्ट ऑफ द ईपीआरडीएफ नॉमिनी. कौन नॉमिनी बनेगा, बहुत टेंशन हो रही थी. देन ही रोज इनटू पावर इन 2018. 2019 में he was elected as the prime minister and he won the Nobel as well in 2019. He ended the war with Eritrea, released the political prisoners and promised more freedoms. And that's why he was awarded with the Nobel Peace Prize. But he also moved to end the TPLF's cloud in Addis Ababa, which led to the split in the EPRDF. So, क्योंकि वो पहले coalition में थे EPRDF के साथ, he moved to release a lot of political prisoners, more freedoms was also promised. लेकिन उनका ultimate target क्या था? That he wanted to TPLF को खत्म करना था उनको, और खत्म करने के पेस में he rose into power again. He formed a different coalition, the Prosperity Party. नई और coalition party बना दी and retained power by cutting the TPLF off the federal government network. Because he was ultimately ruling the federal government. So TPLF को उन्होंने हटा दिया और अब उनका टारगेट TPLF को completely खत्म करने का. When a defiant TPLF challenged the government, he declared a war on Tigray. तो उन्होंने कहा अगर TPLF हमारे साथ वर्क नहीं करेगा, आई एम गोइंग टू हैव अ वॉर ऑन टिग्रे. अल्टीमेटली टिग्रे को भी हम हमारे फेडरल गवर्नमेंट के अंदर ही लेके आएंगे. All right. So he may have hoped that the federal troops could oust the TPLF. उन्होंने कहा था शॉर्ट स्टिंट हम जाएंगे, हम TPLF को हटाएंगे और हम वापस आ जाएंगे. उनको लगा था वो कर लेंगे ये चीज. But he seemed to have overlooked Ethiopia's complex history of ethnic relation and the TPLF's guerrilla warfare. वो भूल गए थे कि TPLF is expert in guerrilla warfare. 7 months on, वो अभी तक हटा नहीं पाए हैं, वो हट गए हैं वहां से. He had to withdraw his troops. The war may have helped him politically, yes, because he won a delayed election there. But it has pushed Tigray into an endless rebellion. अब Tigray completely, जैसे उन्होंने blockade लगाया, now Tigray is against them, against him. So the chances of he winning over the hearts in Tigray is really, really difficult now. He could stop the collective punishment of the Tigrayan people. Blockade लगा के वो punishing ही कर रहे हैं, right? End the blockade and be ready for talks with the TPLF for a mutually agreeable cessation of all hostilities. अगर आप बात करोगे TPLF के साथ, things might sort out, but attacking and blockade and wars will not solve things. I hope you understand this whole article. आया सबको समझ में? Now, what is the tone? Well, tell me the tone. Exactly, Vaishnavi. Good. It's a very GK oriented article. It is. All right. So, what is the tone now? Analytical? Yes. He's trying to analyze the whole situation and what can be done. Some suggestions are coming. Informative? Yes, it is informative. It is analytical. Yes, same mistake, Deepak. Exactly. So some parts are critical. He's criticizing Ali Ahmed, but बहुत कम parts. Mostly it's analytical and it is informative. He's telling you exactly what the history was. So informative. It is complex. It is. बट एक बार आई थिंक आपको वो मैप देख के समझ में आएगा कैसे पॉलिटिकली इन्फ्लुएंस हो रहे हैं बाकी कंट्रीज के साथ वो ऑल राइट सो आई थिंक आई डिस्कस द टोन एज वेल नाउ just remember write down the summary under my video for each article. I'm going to check them. I don't have a caricature now. I don't have one today. So nonetheless, I am going to see you tomorrow now. The class ends here. Ah, हेमंत आई हैव टू कम टू अ कंसेंसस नहीं तो ऐसे डिस्कशन चलता रहेगा टाइम चेंज मत करो आई हैव टू कम टू अ कंसेंसस आई ट्राई टू फाइंड समथिंग suitable for everyone nonetheless I'll see you tomorrow at 10 and then I will okay all right guys then have a good day everyone and God bless all of you. I wish you a very happy birthday, Arpita, in advance. I'll see you tomorrow as well. And God bless you. May you get everything that you desire and deserve, and all the happiness in the world as well. Bye, everyone.